my channel. Welcome back to Sam and Baby, or it's Sam and Baby. Today, obviously, I'm doing a little bit better, and so this is a little bit more of an update from like the previous video and all of that, and pretty much where I'm at now, what, my final decisions are with, the baby daddy, and is just some stuff that I can at least plan for right now. So I actually had my first OB appointment today, which is pretty much just a physical exam I just got. I got some blood work done and a urine test done, which the urine test is just, I think it's just for like the pregnancy test, just to make sure, at least I'm still pregnant by a pregnancy test. And then the blood test is supposed to be more of like my different levels of like iron and all of that kind of stuff, and as well as the ACG level to identify, how far along I am. I do have like a little bit of a confusion, which I'm still confused about, but according to the doctors at the emergency room when I went there for this the lower left abdomen pain I was getting, they said with not only the ACG level was about 6,200, approximately about that much, and the gestational sac was like a certain length, and they both were congruent to being 5 weeks and about 3 days, which I was at the time I went. And now today, if we're just going by that, I'm 6 weeks and 2 days. But the OB is saying, according to the first day of my last period, I'm actually 5 weeks and 6 days. So I'm a little confused on there because that is a 3-day difference, and even though it's really not that much, it's still a little confusing because they're telling me, some are telling me March 4th is my due date, March 7th is my due date, March 9th is my due date, and it's just like, it's weird, it's crazy, and it's just so confusing. But, she did a physical exam, breast exam, just, quick like little thing, just to make sure there weren't any like tumors in there. Hi, Patches. She also did examination of the vagina and the cervix. She said they both look good. She did a little quick feel of the uterus. She said that felt good, and that, everything seems to be good. A little bit more of an update with the emergency visit. Since then, I haven't had any bleeding. I do get every once in a while the pain that I experienced that caused me to go, but it isn't as severe anymore, and it isn't popping up as much anymore, which I'm very thankful for. That is starting to actually resolve it on its own. I do have to wait until, I don't know if I'm supposed to make the call or if like the ultrasound people or like the place where I'm supposed to be getting my ultrasound is supposed to call me. I'm a little confused on that. I'm gonna I got like a folder of pretty much of like do's and don'ts and a lot of information. I'm gonna go through that and see if I can find the number I need to call, and if I have to call him and get an appointment, because I know that's what you pretty much always do with any doctor's appointment. And I'm just confused at the fact that the receptionist lady did say that they were gonna call me to create an appointment, and it's just like, that just doesn't sound right. So I am gonna do like my little own research and find out on my own. Probably won't be able to call them until Monday though, maybe tomorrow if I'm lucky. But yeah, anyway, moving on, the baby, I have officially said, and I even told my OB this, that I am keeping the child. So I will be a single teen mom at 19. I'll be 19 in like a month and some days when I give birth. And then the whole situation with the baby daddy is that he's, I continue to be nice to him. I tried keeping him involved in the child's life, and I asked him if he wanted to go to the first ultrasound appointment whenever that was going to be, and he said no. I said, okay, can I just have a reasoning for it? Because, like, why would you not want to go to the first ultrasound when you get to see your child for the first time, and then you get to hear the heartbeat for the first time, depending what week you are in when you go. I probably won't go until I'm about 7-8 weeks. I know that's typically when you can actually see the child pretty well, or the fetus I should be saying, and when you can, I believe, both see and hear the heartbeat in those weeks. Anyway, continuing on, he was saying how, like, I'm not fit to be a mother, I have, too many problems, and that he left me because I have too many issues, and that I'm just, like, really messed up in the head. And it's like, you're not wrong. I've never been a mom before, so I don't expect myself to, at the moment, be a really good mom. I've never been a mom before. How am I supposed to know? Like, sure, I consider my cat my daughter, and, I babysit a lot. So I do have a lot of experience with, childcare, especially younger kids. I want to say ranging from about pretty much newborns up to like 14, 15-year-old. Like, I have good experience. So sure, even though they weren't my children, I do have experience with children. So I do have a bit of advantage in my case, especially being a teen. Sure, there's certain things that might be new and I have to learn, but that's okay. That's all part of the progress. And not only that, at least from what I've heard and has been told to me, is that when you give birth, the motherly instincts just kick in, or at least like around there. Like, once it comes time for the child to actually be born, if it's a little bit beforehand, if it's during it or if it's after birth, that, those motherly instincts just kick in and you just become a mom, And that's what I'm thinking, is that that's pretty much what's gonna happen with me. It's just like, sure, right now I might not be, I'm still very, not that far along at all. I'm only like a month and a half or something like that. And, like, I don't know. It's just, with time, I'll become a better mom. And on the other points of, I have problems and, he left me because I have issues and, like mental problems and stuff. And I don't think he realizes that most of them that I have are trust issues which were caused by him. I'm emotionally and mentally damaged because of him. Like, most of the problems I have now are because of him. Before I started dating him, I was perfectly fine. I wasn't really that clingy. I wasn't this, I wasn't that. I was perfectly fine just the way I was. I've started to I was, when I was younger, like that. But then, as I grew up, I just kind of grew out of that. But, I kind of reversed or, backtrack, or I forget the word. Dang. Oh, dang. That bothers me that I don't know the word that I'm trying to use. Anyway, but, I started going back to those ways that I was, with the trust issues and the clinginess and, the you cannot talk to anyone, or, stuff like that. And it's just like, I have every right to say that. The way that you treated me the first time that we dated, I have every right to say the stuff that, I said. I have every right to act the way I acted. Like, I don't like how he thinks that he can say and do what he wants and he doesn't get punished for it. But then if someone else has the right to do or say something towards him specifically, that it's wrong for them to do it, like, no. This is what you get for treating certain people the way you treat. This is what you get for doing physical or mental or emotional harm on someone. Like, that's just not right. Jeez, that was a rant. But yeah, so in conclusion, the father's not in the picture. I am not allowing him to be in the picture. I'm gonna push for child support. Yeah, he's not gonna be in the picture. Unless he can prove me otherwise, until that day comes, he's not allowed in this child's life because I'm not having a father like that in this child's life. And if this child ends up growing up without a father, then it's gonna grow up without a father. Now, granted, there could be fatherly figures, and if I do end up starting dating someone, a new guy, sure, he can be the stepfather and be that father figure that the child probably will need in his life or her life. And it's just like, I don't know. I just, at this point gave up. I blocked him on anything that he didn't block me on. I called him out on his BS first. After he said what he said to me about, you're not fit to be a mother, you have too many problems, I left you because you have all these stupid problems, and it's just like, okay, well, you're the one who caused them for me. There's nothing wrong with me, and sure, maybe right now I'm not fit to be a mother, but I have 9, 7, 8, I don't know, I have still over a half a year to make myself mother material. Like, I still have time. So maybe right now I may not be mother material, but I have a lot of time to change that, if I'm not already. Yeah, so anyway, that's it for this time. If you like this video, if you want to continue to support me and my baby and my channel, subscribe again if you want to support me, my baby, and my channel. Make sure that you hit that notification bell to get a notification next time I upload a video. Comment down below. Try finding your birthday twin or triplet or something. So comment down below what your birthdays are, and yeah, that's it for this time, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.